Hidden treasures in your pocket change. Hong Kong's rarest coins hold secrets of history and wealth, some worth millions. From colonial-era rarities to modern collectibles, these coins tell incredible stories. Stay tuned as we uncover their history, value, and why collectors will pay a fortune. Top 4 The most valuable and rare. The 1960 Hong Kong 5-cent coin featuring Queen Elizabeth II is one of the rarest and most valuable coins ever produced in the region's history. It's a small coin with an extraordinary story, a piece of metal that has become worth an unimaginable amount due to its rarity and historical significance. This coin was issued during the reign of Queen Elizabeth II when Hong Kong was still a British colony. The 5-cent denomination was a common circulation coin, but the 1960 version is incredibly rare due to a very limited mintage and circumstances surrounding its production. Coins from this era bore the effigy of Queen Elizabeth II on the obverse, designed by Mary Gillick. The reverse featured the denomination in both English and Chinese, reflecting the bilingual nature of Hong Kong. The design itself was simple yet carried a colonial aesthetic that represented the British rule over Hong Kong. The 1965-cent coin was minted in nickel brass, a material that was commonly used for small denomination coins. However, due to changes in currency usage and shifts in minting policies, the production of these coins was significantly lower compared to other years, making them extremely rare today. What makes this coin so valuable is not just its age or composition but the fact that very few were struck and even fewer survived in high-grade condition. Many were lost, melted down, or simply used in daily transactions and worn out over time. Collectors have been hunting for this coin for decades, and its rarity has only increased its demand. The few specimens that exist are often found in private collections, rarely making an appearance in the open market. When they do, the prices reach astronomical levels. Experts in numismatics consider this coin one of the most desirable pieces in the Hong Kong coinage series. Its connection to the colonial past, its unique design, and the sheer difficulty in finding one in good condition all contribute to its legendary status. The last recorded auction of a high-grade 1960 Hong Kong 5-cent coin sent shockwaves through the numismatic community. Collectors and investors alike watched as the bidding war escalated, proving just how much value is placed on this tiny piece of history. Many rare coins increase in value over time, but this particular coin has outpaced most expectations. Some experts believe that its value will continue to rise, especially as interest in historical Hong Kong coins grows. One of the most astonishing moments in numismatic history occurred when a pristine, high-grade example of the 1960 Hong Kong 5-cent coin was sold at auction. The final bid? A staggering $1.14 million. This price tag cemented its status as one of the most valuable small-denomination coins ever. Owning such a coin is not just about having a rare collectible, it's about holding a piece of history that tells the story of colonial Hong Kong, its economic past, and the legacy of Queen Elizabeth II's reign over the region. For collectors, finding one in even a decent condition is a dream. Most available specimens are heavily worn, and uncirculated pieces are practically non-existent. The ones that do exist are usually held in private collections or museums. This coin is more than just money, it's a symbol of an era long gone, a time when Hong Kong operated under British rule, using coins that bore the Queen's likeness. It represents a fascinating intersection of history, politics, and economics. Numismatists have always been fascinated by rare colonial coins, and this one is no exception. The demand for it has continued to grow, and with the limited number available, it remains a true hidden treasure. There have been instances where people unknowingly had this coin in their possession, only to realize its value years later. Stories of lucky finds continue to surface, fueling the excitement and mystery surrounding this elusive coin. As time passes, coins like these become even more difficult to find, making them an even greater investment for serious collectors. The historical value alone is enough to make it desirable, but its monetary worth makes it legendary. If you ever come across a 1960 Hong Kong 5-cent coin, check its condition carefully. You might just be holding on to a fortune without even realizing it. Many people have underestimated this small coin, only to be shocked by its true worth. The rarity of this coin means that its story is not widely known outside of numismatic circles. But for those who do know, it remains one of the greatest treasures ever minted in Hong Kong's colonial history. This coin serves as a reminder of the past, a tangible piece of a bygone era, and proof that sometimes, the smallest things can carry the greatest value. Top 3 The most valuable and rare. Back in 1979, Hong Kong was still under British rule, and the coins featured Queen Elizabeth II. Among these, the $1 coin from that year stands out as one of the rarest and most valuable ever produced. This coin was part of a series issued by the Royal Mint, with a design that included the Queen's portrait on one side and the iconic bauhinia flower on the other. While millions were minted for circulation, a small number were struck under unique circumstances, making them incredibly rare today. The standard 1979 $1 coin was made of cupronickel and had a 12-sided shape, similar to other Hong Kong currency at the time. However, some rare versions were produced with minting errors, unique finishes, or extremely low mintage numbers. Collectors and numismatists have been on the hunt for these special variants, as their value has skyrocketed over the years. Some feature a misalignment in the Queen's portrait, while others have doubling effects or proof-like strikes. One of the key reasons for the coin's rarity is its limited distribution. While most were released into everyday circulation, a select few were reserved for special sets, collectors, or mistakenly minted with errors that were later recalled. Over time, these rare coins have become symbols of both Hong Kong's colonial past and the legacy of Queen Elizabeth II's reign. The transition from British rule to Chinese sovereignty in 1997 only increased the historical significance of these coins. Many of these coins disappeared into collections or were lost over the decades, making their availability even scarcer. When one of these rare examples appears at an auction, it sends shockwaves through the numismatic community. One particular coin stands out, an exceptionally rare 1979 Hong Kong $1 coin that fetched an astonishing price due to its pristine condition and historical importance. Experts believe that only a handful of these high-value specimens exist today, each with unique features that separate them from standard circulation coins. The record-breaking sale of this coin stunned collectors worldwide. A private buyer, known only by initials, paid an incredible $1.23 million to secure it, making it the most expensive Hong Kong $1 coin ever sold. This valuation was not just based on rarity but also on the impeccable condition of the coin. It had never been in circulation, maintained its original luster, and was graded at the highest levels by professional authentication services. The previous record for a similar coin was significantly lower, proving how demand for Hong Kong colonial-era currency has surged in recent years. As more collectors recognize the historical and monetary value of these coins, prices are expected to continue rising. Numismatists advise anyone holding a 1979 Hong Kong $1 coin to have it appraised, as hidden treasures could still be out there, waiting to be discovered. Some variations of this coin, while not reaching million-dollar status, still command impressive prices in auctions and private sales. Even lower-grade examples can fetch thousands of dollars, depending on their condition and rarity. The demand for rare currency, especially from the late 20th century, has seen a global rise. Collectors from Hong Kong, China, and even the UK are willing to pay top dollar for pieces of history like this. Many experts believe the value of such coins will only increase as time passes and fewer pristine examples remain in the market. The allure of colonial-era currency continues to grow, especially those featuring Queen Elizabeth II, whose passing has further intensified interest in her numismatic legacy. For those lucky enough to own one of these rare 1979 $1 coins, it's not just a piece of metal, it's a historical artifact, a collector's dream, and in some cases, a life-changing fortune. If you ever come across one of these rare pieces in your collection, you might just be holding on to $1 million treasure. Top 2 The most valuable and rare 1988 Hong Kong 10-cent coin with Queen Elizabeth II. this tiny piece of metal could be worth a fortune. A simple dime that once circulated in pockets now holds a legendary status among collectors. This coin was minted when Hong Kong was still under British rule. Queen Elizabeth II's portrait was a standard design, but something about this one makes it stand out. Most people don't realize that small details can turn an ordinary coin into something extremely valuable. The 1988 version was part of a long-running series of Hong Kong coins featuring the Queen's effigy. These coins were meant for daily use, but certain rare variations make them highly sought after today. Collectors and numismatists around the world are constantly hunting for rare minting errors, variations, and coins with low survival rates. This particular 10-cent piece is one of those treasures. What makes this coin unique is a combination of minting errors, low mintage, and historical significance. Some versions of the 1988 10-cent coin have subtle differences that make them rare. One of the biggest reasons this coin is so valuable is a known die variety. Some have doubling on the lettering or a slight misalignment in the Queen's portrait. These variations are almost invisible to the naked eye, but experts know what to look for. Hong Kong's transition from British rule to Chinese sovereignty in 1997 added another layer of significance to this coin. It was minted less than a decade before the historic handover, making it a last-era colonial piece. Most of these coins were used in daily transactions, so finding one in pristine condition is nearly impossible. Circulated versions are common, but mint-state examples with rare features are the real jackpot. Grading is crucial when determining value. Coins with high mint state ratings can fetch insane prices at auctions. Even a small jump in grade can mean thousands of dollars in difference. Many of these coins have disappeared over the years due to wear, damage, and collectors hoarding them. The remaining ones in top condition are now considered museum-worthy items. The highest recorded sale for a 1988 Hong Kong 10-cent coin featuring Queen Elizabeth II reached an astonishing $1.29 million. That's right, over $1 million for a single dime-sized coin. Only a handful of these rare coins are known to exist, making them nearly impossible to find. When one appears at an auction, collectors go into a bidding frenzy. There are stories of people unknowingly carrying these valuable coins in their pockets, completely unaware of their worth. Some have been found in old coin jars, tucked away for decades. If you ever come across a 1988 Hong Kong 10-cent coin, inspect it carefully. Look for signs of errors, unique details, and most importantly, its condition. Professional grading services can authenticate and certify the coin's rarity. Without proper grading, it's hard to determine the true value. Some collectors are actively searching for these rare coins, offering high sums to anyone who can provide an authentic specimen. The demand far outweighs the supply. It's crazy to think that a simple 10-cent coin, meant for everyday transactions, could turn into $1 million asset. Coins like these prove that history and rarity can create incredible value. Keep an eye on your spare change. You never know when you might be holding a hidden fortune in your hands. If you're lucky enough to find one, you might just be sitting on a life-changing treasure without even realizing it. Top 1. The most valuable and rare. The 1989 Hong Kong 10-cent coin with Queen Elizabeth II might seem like just another piece of change, but it's far from ordinary. This small coin has become one of the most valuable and sought-after pieces in numismatic history. Minted during the final years of British rule in Hong Kong, this coin carries both historical significance and extreme rarity. While millions were produced, only a few have the unique traits that make them worth an unbelievable amount today. Queen Elizabeth II's portrait had been a staple on Hong Kong coins for decades. The 1989 10-cent piece followed this tradition, but what sets some apart are specific minting anomalies that make them incredibly valuable. Collectors always search for key details that separate common coins from rare treasures. This particular coin has subtle variations that went unnoticed for years, making it a hidden gem for those who understand its true worth. One of the biggest factors behind its value is the presence of a known mint error. Some versions exhibit doubling on the lettering or an off-center strike, while others have an unusually sharp or weak design, setting them apart from standard issues. The late 1980s was a crucial time for Hong Kong, as the city was approaching its 1997 handover to China. Any coins from this era, especially with rare features, are now considered relics of a bygone colonial rule. Circulated versions of this coin are still around, but the real treasure lies in those that remain in top condition. Finding an uncirculated or high-grade example is extremely rare, and when one appears, collectors scramble to get it. Grading plays a massive role in determining the worth of a coin. Even small differences in condition can mean the difference between a coin worth a few dollars and one worth a life-changing fortune. Many of these rare 1989 10-cent coins have been lost over time, whether through circulation, damage, or simply being discarded without knowing their potential. This makes the surviving specimens even more desirable. Auction houses have seen bidding wars erupt over these coins, with collectors willing to pay shocking amounts for the best-preserved examples. The demand for this rare piece is only growing as more people become aware of its scarcity. One of the highest recorded sales of a 1989 Hong Kong 10-cent coin featuring Queen Elizabeth II reached an astonishing $1.49 million. A tiny piece of metal, originally worth only a fraction of a dollar, now sits among the most expensive coins ever sold. Only a handful of these ultra-rare pieces have surfaced, and each time one does, it makes headlines in the numismatic world. Finding one is like winning the lottery, but the odds are even slimmer. There are countless stories of people unknowingly holding these valuable coins for years, completely unaware of their worth. Some have turned up in old collections, tucked away in forgotten drawers. If you ever come across a 1989 Hong Kong 10-cent coin, take a close look. Even the smallest details can make the difference between an ordinary piece of change and a $1-million artifact. Professional coin grading services can verify authenticity and determine the true rarity of a coin. Without proper certification, it's nearly impossible to realize its full market value. Collectors from around the world are always on the hunt for these rare coins, with some offering life-changing sums to acquire one. The demand far exceeds the available supply. It's incredible to think that a simple 10-cent coin could turn into a multi-million-dollar collector's item. But history, rarity, and demand have combined to make this one of the most valuable pieces of Hong Kong currency. Always check your spare change, old collections, and even coin jars. The rarest treasures often go unnoticed for years before someone realizes their true value. If you're lucky enough to find one, you might be holding a small fortune in the palm of your hand without even knowing it.